think I've got to get more hoodies if we're going to be doing a lot of these morning shots. Actually, that's not the worst. It's 421 per kilometer average. I don't know what that is in miles. Okay, no. Coach has got me getting a lot more specific, and we're going to spend about an hour and a half on the bike, kind of at, around, above race pace, and then as quick a transition as possible onto a 4-mile run. We're not getting up to massive distances just yet, but it's coming. He's told me that it's coming, and then he snickered. Even though he seemed all nice yesterday in the vlog, he's evil. Pat is just an evil, diabolical person. I'll tell you more about the workout in just a bit. Now, time to get changed. Shirt here is from my buddy Hugo, who is in Boulder, Colorado, and just started Dig Deep Boco. They got some pretty sweet trucker hats. I'm not a big trucker hat kind of guy, because I got a small head. Actually, that's not the worst. I mean, I'm a good looking dude, so I can make anything look good, right? We see this little move of bar there, almost touching the wheel. So these 20-minute sessions are going to be the bread and butter of building the endurance for Ironman Campeche 70.3, because they're right in and around that specific race pace. And what we're going to end up shooting for is probably around 70 to 75% of my FTP over that half Ironman. So what we're going to do is a ton of work around that 65 to 70 range, a bunch more work in that 70 to 75 range. That's going to be my race pace, and then a little bit over race pace. And then I think we're gradually building these 20-minute sessions from 3 to, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7, and get in a run off the bike as quick as possible. That's a bad snap. There we go. Good snap. And small disclaimer, these aren't workouts that I'm giving to you to do. These are workouts that Pat has given to me to do. The idea behind these vlogs and showing them to you is that it gives us a backdrop to talk about lots of triathlon things and how you can structure your program with all these concepts in mind. All right, gonna get at this. If you don't have a power meter, you can do it as like 5 minutes under race pace, 10 minutes at race pace, 5 minutes over race pace. And just go by how hard it feels. That's that. While we're talking about having versus not having, we got dogs that are shaking the camera. Hey! No. While we're talking about having versus not having pedals, I probably trained for the first 6 seasons without any sort of power, and actually without even a bike computer. It wasn't until last year that Power Tap was nice enough to send these babies out. And so you can train without power, without data, and just go by perceived effort and still do pretty well. But these certainly help. They're not the prettiest things, they're pretty clunky, but comparing them to my friends who have like Garmin Vectors, these are a lot more reliable. They've been good. All right, 4-mile run. Back with you after and introduce you to some people. I really like these more built up Go Run 5 Skechers on the run yesterday. Man, seriously, they were sweet. They're about the weight of a racing flat with the cushion of, I wouldn't say a Hoka, but like full-on trainer. That was a 4-mile run, 6.8 kilometers. The first half of it was at a 4:12 per kilometer pace. It's 421 per kilometer average. I don't know what that is in miles. I'm from Canada. Get on the metric system, USA. All right, I'm gonna introduce you to a couple peeps of mine today. First, go eat the entire kitchen. Okay, these are the two dudes that I wanted you to meet. That's Petey. That's Gracie. So she's a lady. Petey's a dude. I figured because they're always sniffing the mics, I might as well introduce you to them. So, Gracie's older. She's 4. Petey's younger. He just turned 2. These dudes could not be more opposite, but they couldn't be more best friends. She's gray. He's white. She was expensive and custom and purebred. He was cheap. He was a rescue. She grew up getting like bomb-proofed and certifications. He grew up eating garbage. She's very prissy and very needy like that. He's only needy when he decides to be. He loves dogs. She loves people. She's very cuddly at night. He's very cuddly in the morning. She likes to eat poop. He does not. He gets brownie points for that. We're mad at her for that. I do get a lot of questions about if I run with these guys, and I think that as far as triathlon training goes, that's worth a little bit of a discussion. These are super duper athletic dogs. She's like hunting stock lab. He's like super crazy fit mutt. Just loves being active, full of beans. But as far as triathlon training with this gang goes, I really don't do it. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one is when it's hot out, they don't do so well. They top out at about 8 or 10 kilometers. And for most training runs in the summer, that's like not even in the ballpark of where I'm going. So I don't bring them out for longer runs, any longer than about 8 or 10 kilometers. So they don't get to go too much in the summer. Number two, in the winter, going on really uneven surfaces out in Winnipeg isn't very good for their joints. So there aren't a lot of really good opportunities for them to come out with me. That's one thing that I think people need to be really aware of with dogs is that, yeah, even though they love running, you do still have to be careful because they aren't built for running long distances like we are, especially if it's really hot or on super uneven surfaces, because they don't have shoes that allow them to run on concrete. We do. So it's not necessarily super good on their joints. Last couple things worth noting is I've got, over here. And you're gonna flip the hell out because you're gonna think that we're going for a run. Ah, yeah, okay, we're not. Okay, okay, this whole mess, yeah, we got it, Pete. Hey, sit. This whole mess here is called the Iron Doggy running leash. This is really nice if you run with dogs a lot because it just clips on like a belt, and then with these carabiners here, you can have, I don't know, up to like 30, 40 dogs that you just clip on, and they're spring loaded so that as dogs pull away, they don't tug on you, and you can run hands-free. The one big caveat that I will give to running with a dog, especially if it's with this and you don't have a hand on them, you have to get them really well trained to not dart out to the side or dart in front of you. Otherwise, it's just not safe for them. What else can I tell you about these guys? They're the best. They're just the best. I just love it. Just love it. And Pete, you too. Oh, I know. Say bye to the vlog. Say bye to the vlog. Run with your dogs and run safely with your dogs. Bye, guys. Oh, wait. We can show you this. Grace, sit. High five. Yeah! No, we are not going for a run. Yeah, I figured if these guys are gonna be sniffing microphones all the time and, hey, like that. If they're gonna be sniffing microphones and cameras and you're gonna be seeing them a lot, I figure you might as well meet them. Bye.